Honored to have you here.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Governor, our co-workers will be joining
Hi.
us. Hi.
That's what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Making a big difference to us. Thank you. You the one going to stick me? Okay. We're bonding before she sticks me, just so you know. I'm in good hands. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And then the folks will be. This is the hot seat.
Hot people. Thank you.
And I'll take your jacket when you're ready. We're not going to stick to you.
Thank you.
You want to go ahead? Get started?
Yeah. Let's see.
So we're going to do the other workers, and the governor will get the last shot. So, Gov, if you want to say a couple things to the folks here about why you're...
No, I appreciate you being here and having the opportunity to be here with these folks today and share a vial of vaccines with them. They've been, that's like you share, you know. They've been incredible supporters. I mean, they've worked on the front lines through this entire time, you know, dealing with the pandemic. And these are folks that came to work every single day. When, if you remember, these shelves were empty and you couldn't buy toilet paper and you couldn't buy rice or beans, or they worked around the clock. They changed their schedules in order to accommodate all the people that were coming in here to do their shopping, which says an awful lot. They extended the hours, they worked overtime, and they put themselves at risk. And then they had to deal with people who didn't want to wear a mask or didn't want to follow the rules. And they've been incredible examples, and I'm thrilled about the fact that, you know, they're all in the queue now. They can all get the vaccine, and it's an honor to be here at Albertsons and have a chance to share a vial of vaccine with them. So, ready to go. Okay, questions or go after?
Do you want to take a couple now?
Sure.
Okay. Gov can take a couple questions.
Governor Sisolak, any reaction to the fact that the vaccine list has now just expanded to hospitality workers, restaurant workers, cafeteria workers?
Yeah, our goal is to get vaccines, needles in as many arms as we possibly can. There's an awful lot of people in the hospitality, entertainment business that it's important we get vaccinated. I've always said that it's, I want to make Las Vegas and Nevada the safest place and healthiest place for people to come to. If you're having a convention, don't go to Texas or Florida, come to Las Vegas. I mean, we're vaccinating our frontline workers. So it makes it safer for them, for their families, for all the guests that we're bringing in, all the conventioneers, and that's why we want to make it as safe as possible.
Can you speak to how the supply is starting to outpace the demand? There's not as many people showing up to vaccine sites as there were initially in Nevada?
Yeah, no, the supply is not outpacing the demand. We've got a huge amount of demand. We're just increasing some of the capacities a little bit. We're still trying to get more and more vaccines into Nevada, and we're getting our allocation increased every week, which is certainly helping us. But what we're doing by having the hospitality and food service workers, because we're expanding them to 50% next week, I think that's a good thing, that they're going to be able to come in here, get their vaccine, and feel safer when they're out in the community and dealing with customers.
How about age group? What's the next age group that'll be allowed to start getting vaccinated?
The next age group that's on the playbook is going to be 18 through 64 with underlying conditions, and that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to people that are most susceptible and vulnerable to the disease, and that's what we're doing. So the next group will be the 18 to 64 with underlying conditions.
As more and more people get vaccinated, is there going to be any increase in the timeline for 50% businesses? Is that going to get moved ahead? Is anything moving ahead?
Yeah, we're moving forward with all of the restrictions. You're going to see a lot of them eased next week, you know that. And we're going to see how quickly we can get vaccines in arms, how many we can get in arms. And then you're aware that in May, we plan to turn this over to local jurisdictions. Some of them are further ahead on the vaccines than Clark is, but hopefully everybody will be in a good position by that point, and we'll be able to expand it all.
And I just want to clarify today, when we announced that we're moving to hospitality, it also mentioned that we're looking to do 55 plus with underlying conditions by end of next week. So that was in the same release with the hospitality workers. So you all should have that there.
As far as it goes for the governor's office and all your employees that work for you that are doing it, after you get yours today, how many still will there be to go?
I didn't do the analysis that we did in my office. We did the people that have a front facing with the public, and those that are part of the governance issue. The ones that are working from home, or can work from homes that are younger, they haven't gotten their care.
But perhaps in the next couple of weeks you have to.
I hope in the next couple of weeks we're going to be able to open up more and more and more. As we get the vaccines, we will be able to open it up. And now with 3 vaccines available, it's certainly helping, giving us more options to get into the locations, and that's what we've been doing this for so long for.
Governor, the Feds changed their guidance on nursing home visitations. Does Nevada plan on following that soon by changing some of the restrictions?
Yeah, we're looking at, the restrictions going into nursing homes. It's been a very, very difficult situation. People haven't been able to get in and see their loved ones. And I can tell you that, my mom lives with my sister, but the biggest thing she looks forward to is seeing her grandkids. And that's what folks really want to do. So we're working with the Nursing Home Association to try to loosen those up, to try to get families coming back together, because it's been difficult. It's been a year. I mean, we've started talking about this a year ago, and I would have never imagined a year ago we'd still be here today, but we are. So I'm happy the pace we're going, but we got a lot further to go.
Any idea how soon that could be?
I do not know. No.
Like any progress on seeing with federal officials about the allocation algorithm on, because Nevada has had a big population growth and the allocations based on old census data. Any progress on trying to get new census data in there to get Nevada's proper allocation?
Yeah, I talked with the President's task force, and we deal with that, and they've been using this older data, and unfortunately this is disadvantage for Nevada and some other states that have an influx of people, especially older people, retirees that have moved here, and some of the ones that have lost population have gotten the benefit from this. They said they're aware of the new data. They're going to implement it as quickly as they can, but as for right now, they're sticking with the old set of data, and we're encouraging them to look forward and move that on.
Governor, with the several billions coming from the new stimulus package, what are your priorities as far as what's going to the state, and are there possibly programs that could now be funded that otherwise wouldn't?
Yeah, and I really appreciate we had our, both of our senators and 3 of our Congress people voted for that. Congresswoman Titus, Congressman Horsford, and Congresswoman Lee, and Senators Rosen and Cortez Masto, certainly. We're going to work with the legislature in order to allocate that. Now, there is some flexible money that's coming from the federal government that'll come to the state. There's flexible money coming from the federal government to the counties and the cities. And then there's certain pockets of money that's also available. I mean, the school district, Clark County School District, is getting hundreds of millions of dollars that's specified. And then there's other money that's specified. It could be for rental assistance. It could be for vaccine distribution and whatnot. We don't want to use our flexible money to fill those needs. We want to try to get as much of that as we can, too. So we're working closely with our delegation in Washington and the legislature to come up with a way to allocate responsibly the funds that we're going to get.
So, Governor, you're up next. It looks like we'll finish one more, and then it'll be your turn.
Cool.
I let the folks know that what was available today was the Janssen, the J&J vaccine for you, so that's what you'll be getting today.
Good.
I'm like nervous for you. Gov's like, hi.
She's nervous. I'm not nervous. Anybody have anything else before I...
Any encouraging words for those not yet taking the vaccine?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. Right now, we are still really focusing on those 65 and over. It's extremely important that that vulnerable part of the population we get in for vaccines. So if you're 65 and over and you haven't gotten it, please come on down. There's vaccination sites all over the place to get it. And if you know someone who's 65 or over and hasn't gotten it, we've seen the best in people during this pandemic, people going out of their way to help their neighbors and their family and their friends and whatnot. If you know somebody that's 65 and doesn't have transportation or can't get there, a phone call to them and say, hey, look, let's make an appointment, I'll take you down there, would really go a long, long way. And it's something that we'd really appreciate them helping out in that way, because there's a lot of folks in that age group that don't have transportation or can't get to a bus line immediately. But it's the most important thing we're still fighting for. We want to get 75, 80% of that population group, and we're still short of that right now. So we're encouraging anybody that's over 65 to certainly get in, get a vaccine. And now that we've opened up for those with underlying conditions, 55 and above, please come in, get a vaccine, and whatever the underlying condition is, whether it's asthma, diabetes, whatever it might be, just don't think twice, but come on down and we'll do what we can. Good?
So we'll have Gov get his shot, and then we'll try to turn the store back over to Albertsons, if that's okay.
Thank you, Albertsons, for helping us out here. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, Governor.
How are you?
For me, sir. Good. How are you? Which arm is best for you? All right, Governor. Before I start, I do have to ask you some questions.
Okay. Ask aloud, because they're all going to want to hear these questions.
All right. Do you have any of the following symptoms that are unusual for you? Cough, shortness of breath, sore throat, chills, congestion of runny nose?
No.
All right. Do you have diarrhea or nausea, vomiting?
No.
And do you have a fever?
You had to ask that in front of all these people.
And
No.
do you have a fever? Okay, Governor.
I do not.
And
Thank you.
the left arm is okay,
Sure,
correct?
yeah.
All right, Governor. You're in good hands.
I know. No, everybody that comes down here isn't going to get this young lady to do the vaccination because you have to have a day off. But you know.
Yes, I do.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, that's that in front of all these people too. I'm not afraid of needles. I'm not afraid of needles.
Okay.
You're getting ready there, aren't you?
I'm getting ready, yes, sir.
Nice kidney over there.
Thank you. This is my school pharmacy pen.
A full pharmacy pin.
School of pharmacy pen.
School of Pharmacy pin.
Relax as much as you can. All right, Governor, you ready, sir?
Ready?
Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Governor, you did great. Governor, you did great.
Thank you. Well done.
Did you get it?
Michelle?
Michelle, yes, sir. All right, Governor, so we ask if you can stick around for 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
That way, if you have a reaction, you can stand up. But if you have a reaction, we can treat you here, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. It was totally pain-free. It was a very simple procedure. And I encourage everyone, I beseech everyone, please, please, if you're eligible, down to the vaccination site, please get it, make an appointment, and show up for your appointment. It's going to make a difference. There is a light at the end of this dark tunnel that we've been going through. We're a lot closer to the end of this pandemic than we are to the beginning. And these vaccines are what's going to make the difference. So I encourage everybody out there, if you're eligible or when you become eligible, to get your vaccine, please do it as soon as you possibly can. And all three of the vaccines are terrific, and I encourage you just to get whatever one's available.
Great. Thank you all for
So
coming
any
out.
other questions before we give Albertsons their store back? Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate it.